We're looking at two games today, my friends. We got Dojo Masters, courtesy of Bye Bye Blue and Pixeled Vision. And then we're going to have Arcus Chroma, courtesy of GX Grainsun. Now, both these games have, like I said, some interesting similarities. I think they're part of the kind of new wave of fighting game design, particularly in regards to approachability. Moreover, also the kind of melding of different styles of fighting games, right? I think our new generation of indie devs have a really good understanding of the history of fighting games and are applying that knowledge really well to their current day designs. And I think Dojo Masters and Arcus Chroma both look at some interesting things, look at some similar things, and then diverge in some distinct ways, right? But no jumping. No jumping is the theme of the show, man. Both these games, no jumping involved, though you have moves that can put you into airborne states. It's really cool. Dojo Masters, as maybe implied by the name, has some martial arts influence where they bring in various martial arts styles and every character is a martial arts archetype. You know, it's a very, very fast-paced game. How do you do, simple, relatively simple, approachable fighting game design, right? No jumping, no... Hey, Bye Bye Blue, thank you for the sub, my friend. But yeah, like I was saying, Bye Bye Blue's game, Dojo Masters, no jumping, only 2 buttons, very limited button real estate, no real, special move inputs to speak of, but then has this, really high ceiling in terms of execution and how you implement the tools within that fairly approachable framework. So I think, yeah, there's some indie fighting game devs out there lately who are really working hard to hit that balance of approachable and playing with intent at a very, very low skill floor, but then offering these really interesting interactions towards the very high end of the skill ceiling, which is surprisingly large, right? Karate Champ needed to be revisited. That's right, Bye Bye Blue. See, and this is it. Looking at old games, old fighting games, different fighting game design paradigms, and applying them with all the knowledge we've learned over the last however many years. That's super valuable. It's funny, you say Karate Champ. That is actually kind of the obvious connection, right? Though my immediate connection to what you've kind of the inspirations that you pulled from Dojo Masters were a lot of the 3D fighting games, things like Virtua Fighter and DOA, right? And the way that their strike, throw, parry mechanics work, the way that they have divergent abilities in terms of mobility and offensive tools and defensive tools, depending on the archetype. Right, seeing those things get incorporated. I made a comparison to Rainbow Core Hypernova, which does a very similar thing, but with platform fighter conventions. Arcus Chroma does kind of some similar ideas to what Dojo Master is doing, where we're going to limit the button real estate, we're going to limit the ability to jump, and remove that from the equation, and then going to find our bits of complexity elsewhere. And then they pulled from a lot of anime fighters in order to find that kind of inspiration. It's fascinating seeing where indie devs are pulling inspiration from. I mean, fighting game design, I think, is always kind of inherently very tied to legacy, right? There is a strong desire to I think, respect the history of fighting game design, which means things are not necessarily samey, but things are always very referential. And then I think this is kind of reinterpreting those references in different contexts. As a music writer that I'm fond of used to say, it is we will intercontextualize these two genres and see what happens. Sometimes the simplest games have incredibly high skill ceilings. That's right. You'll never see them, but you're glad that they're there. And that has always been a big struggle for a lot of fighting game designs, right? How do you make something approachable without neutering a lot of what makes it interesting at the high levels? And how do you cater to what's interesting at the high levels without inherently pulling up the skill floor and then cutting off people from being able to access playing with intent? And that is a tough balance. A lot of the kind of fighting game adjacent inspirations that many indie devs are taking these days, that is helping them maintain a meaningful separation between those within the same game, which I think a lot of people, the way they looked at approachability in the past, it was very polarizing the way people were designing these games. But I think there's a much more nuanced view of that these days, and you're seeing it in games like Dojo Masters and Arcus Chroma. Enough of me talking about it while you're looking at my face. Okay, you know what? We got a nice little tutorial in this game, so let's go through it just to give folks a little bit of an understanding of what's going on with Dojo Masters, right? So let's start with some movement. The only universal movement is moving forward and backwards. Right? This is something that's interesting. I've talked about this concept of variable mobility, which is, I mean, platform fighter fans will probably know it as DI, directional influence. But it's a platformer, just games in general, fans will know it as kind of like the Mario jump, right? And there's this idea that I have, like, that some of the complexity that comes in new fighting games is through this kind of mobility, interesting mobility options, fast falls, variable jumps, directional influence on knockback. Right? And then Dojo Masters, the way that they kind of have started doing their variable mobility is splitting it up between characters. So while everyone has this forward and back movements, not everyone has access to a dash. Everyone's movement speed is different, people's mobility options are different, and that is kind of where the variability works. So yeah, if I hold up, I get nothing. If I hold down, you face the camera. So it's just right, left, and down are the only inputs. You'll see actually in training mode, there's a little display at the top, and it'll show you your left, right, down, punch, and kick, which that's the extent of your button real estate in the game. All right, so that's our only universal mechanic, right? Every character's movement is different. Experiment with each to figure it out. Knockouts. What are we doing in this game? In order to win, you must first deplete your opponent's stamina. That's all those green pips there. Once depleted, knock them down. This results in a knockout. Boom. Hold down, please. Boom. Gotta face that camera. So important to note, which of your attacks lead to a knockdown and which don't. Block and then defense. Right? It's back to block. Stronger attacks will chip away at your stamina even while blocking. Makes sense, right? When to block, when to challenge. What it's all about. Attack power. There are two main attack types. Weaks and strongs. Weak attacks generally deal half a stock of damage. So, forward and punch for our karate character here. Strong attacks typically deal one full stock of damage or more. So, forward and kick. Weak attacks usually are the faster and safer options. Specials. Every martial artist has at least one or more special attacks. So these are not typically like, it's not your quarter circle motion. In this case, my special is back and punch, and I can charge it up. Right? That lightning spark, that means that it was an untechable attack. So you want to knock them down, but if you knock them down and it's still techable, they can do a tech roll and get up. So this untechable state is very important. Makes sense. Guard crush, guard break. All right, and then yeah, when their stamina is super low, heavy attacks will guard crush to help break through defense, right? So this is all the interplay of, it's a strike throw, and then there's also a parry. They have to not tech a knockdown, so you want to work for guaranteed knockdown, and you do that by playing around with the stamina. All right, so that's the throw. Not everyone has throws, right? So this is like the variability in the different archetypes. So that's your tech. Don't mash because you'll get locked out of a throw tech. And then recovery. So when you hit the floor, you can perform a tech to roll out. And then yeah, tech without stamina, you get put into a no tech state, and then there's this guaranteed knockdown. So once again, playing with the untechable nature of attacks, you can get access to that through forcing a tech roll. If you have enough stamina, sometimes taking the fall and resetting to neutral is beneficial. Yeah, right, Punk? It is a very basic, or I guess I would call it a tailored space that is being played in, and then there's a lot of nuance that you get through those interactions, right? It's good. All right, yeah, and it's third strike style parries, forward to tech. Which, as you can see, I am amazing at. The advantage depending on how strong the incoming attack is. All right. Yeah. How masterful will I be? We'll find out. We have a handful of characters here. We got 5. The star rating is, I believe, like, supposed to indicate their complexity. So we have the karate character, we have Muay Thai, we have boxing, we have Taekwondo, and then Kendo. I'm not sure what the actual fighter name is for that. Kendo. Okay, excellent. So yeah, you can see here at the very top of the screen here where the round counter and timer should be. You have forward, left, right, and down as a built-in display, as well as punch and kick. And like already, so this is the move list here for the character. But already you can see some of the training mode options. There are AI behaviors that you can scroll through and select and have them act in various states. Honestly, I love the ability to just have like X move come out under Y condition is a great option, which honestly I feel a lot of, I mean, I think more modern fighting games have been getting better at that, but that's always something I miss. Yeah, display options, frame data, inputs, hitboxes, and then the special display, which is also nice. I didn't actually look at the frame data display yet. This is cute. I like it. But you can see there at the bottom left that there's that bar and then the pip, which shows you what state you're in. So if you look at all of the various moves, right? Direction punch and then the same direction kick is a special. So, right, so forward punch, kick, back punch, kick, neutral punch, kick. So you'll see at the very bottom there, her untechable attack is punch, same kick. So punch, punch, kick. Oh, can you hide this in other moves like you can for Boxer? I would wager, right? Kinda. Right, where I was just like, all right, let me do a long move and then see what happens, but you can hold the charge for about 1 second. Oh, yeah, you can see it there. Oh, that from that even. Okay, I was just thinking, right, instead of just punch, punch, kick, you can do punch, forward, punch, punch, kick, and you can still get it. But also, roll is double tap forward while charge is present. Okay. So yeah, that roll. And then there are 2 different charge stances. Level 1 yellow arrow and level 2 purple arrow. Normally you can only go up in level. Ah. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. And it drops you back down to level 1. Oh god. I see. Okay. Wow. And so this is the kind of thing that there is not like the difficulty in execution here does not come from the move inputs themselves. These are all single button, right? It's just punch, 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 forward, forward is the most complex thing, right? But it's the integrating those things into the sequence that becomes complex. Each of those individual tools allow you to play with intent, and then combining them at higher levels lets you play the game in a different fashion, right? I think that's honestly kind of ingenious. Yeah, the trickiest part is realizing what direction charge you have. It's true, because you start doing this just to move around and be annoying, and all of a sudden you're like, wait, what was I at? Like, legitimately, I think Taekwondo is a little bit too big-brained for me. Though I do enjoy some Boxer, who's also a fairly complex character. Let's ask the audience. What do y'all want to see? We got karate, we got Muay Thai, we got Taekwondo, so we got Boxer, and we got Kendo. Muay Thai muscle mommy. Look, this wasn't even meant to be a step on me stream. Boxer is TOD Todd. He's just the TOD Todd. We will check out, okay, yeah, and then Tommy, we can check out Kendo right after that. Kendo's actually a really cool character, one that I really appreciate, in terms of its design and how much it differs from some of the other characters. It's really cool. And then yes, every character has a female and male version. I actually didn't point that out here. That is worth pointing out. Look, we have some nice customization options. Everyone, there's a male and female version, it seems, different skin tones, and then different colors for the like a two-tone color setup, and then feet, because you know people like feet. Yeah, it is really cool. It is really cool. Apologies for just kind of glancing over that as I'm like digging into the mechanics of it. I'm also just like, wait, there's this really cool presentation stuff associated with it too. So our Muay Thai character here, we have a punch, which is just a jab. We have a forward punch. I don't know if there's any difference in, this is why I have framed that on, right? Because forward punch not listed as its own move, but it does change which arm you use, it seems. And there's like a 2-frame difference on neutral punch and forward punch. Okay. The back punch is it's a grapple throw, so it puts him into a throw state, and from there you can do punch to kind of beat up on them, or you can do kick to knock them down. You might want to try to get a couple punches in before going for the kick knockdown. Regular kick and forward kick, I assume much like punch and forward punch, there is some slight frame data. Forward punch, by Blue just said was a little safer. And so you have your full extension heel kick, some nice range on it, and then a forward one to really, you know, get in at the kidneys. Okay, finally, last move here. Back A. This is their untechable armored move. So, like, a lot of my game plan here with the Muay Thai character is just to fish for this. Puts him in the untechable state. I'll try to show off the armor. There you go. So just armors right through that hit. But Kendo here has a counter attack, which, you know, that's fun. Let me know if you want to know the scary knee corner combo. I definitely want to know the scary knee corner combo. I'm sorry. You're offering this information to me? Yes, please. See, I know I've got that. Knee, forward jab, clinch, pummel, sweep. Okay. Yeah, corner only. Ahaha, okay. Interesting. All right, yeah. And then I just got to get for the pummel. All right. Because my favorite is probably... It's hard to get counter hits in this game. Like I said, a lot of you said a lot of the stuff is character dependent, right? And there is some of that where some characters are more prone to being stunned. Some of them are much more counter hittable. See, this is me fishing for the counter hit stuff. So yeah, when you say the counter hit isn't universal, you mean that Boxer being in play literally makes counter hit a mechanic. Okay, yes. So yeah, that's something that has been tacked on to Boxer specifically. Okay, that's interesting. And now there you go. Okay. Oh, damn, you can't get the knee? Okay. Yeah, I really want that to connect. But that's still good, stamina damage. Yeah, there you go. That's what I was looking for. So yeah, I was hoping to be able to get that off of punch, punch, punch on counter hit, right? Because you can get the 3 punches and the kick. Even 2-punch kick would be great. I might actually be able to make it. Because yeah, well, I should be able to get a pummel off of it, right? Because, yeah, that's what I was hoping, right? Punch, punch, kick. But it's a little too far, so you just gotta get the one punch into kick. Topping out at 5, but I feel it's possible to reach 6. Man, I love counter hits. Like, here, let's hop in. Some folks wanted to see what was up with the Kendo character. So we're gonna do that. We took a little look at Muay Thai, and then some Boxer. Though I hope that Bye Bye Blue is gonna be willing to show some Boxer, and just make me question life choices. So the Kendo character has a dash, has a backdash, has a run. Their punch attacks is basically a Rekka. The first 2 hits connect. Last one's a launcher, which doesn't. Has a stab with forward P and a counter with back P. So this will just counter an attack, but if they whiff it, well, I think even if they hit it, it puts them in a no-tech state. So nice little bit of risk-reward there for the Kendo character. But they can also use it as a stunning attack if they do it out of a dash. So dash forward, back punch gives you that into an actual combo. I know you can at least combo 2. It's frame perfect. Yeah, you can restun someone. It's the literal frame. There you go. It's actually easier if you do the so there's button macros for the dashes. So you can just do dash button, back punch, and it makes it a little bit easier at least. Man, and I could find myself just doing this for fucking an hour, dude. I won't reward you all with that beautiful display of streamerdom, but right. So that's the punches, and then for kicks, it raises your sword. So I like that their kick is just, it's kick and then a punch follow-up, right? But you get contextual ones depending on whether you do it early, late, or with your perfect timing. Late gives you this upper, right? And then you can hit kick again to cancel and go back into neutral state. Early is the head bonk. And then perfect timing is this untechable strike. So you can get from upper into early, but you can also get it into perfect strike as well. There you go. Nice little combo. Mahaha. You can get a couple. I don't think you can get bonk into perfect strike though off of your upper. I don't think. God, is that frame perfect too? It is possible? Oh shit. Oh shit. Frame perfect as well. I love that there's all this stuff, which, look, if you're a god and you can do stun into stun and just like time somebody out, you know what? Great, you can do that. But like that is by no means where the like interactions in the game seem to revolve around, right? Which I think is super dope. Ah, okay, yeah. And then, so off of your upper, you mash it out. You can get the last 2 hits of your Rekka to connect. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's new? Yes! I wanted at least one of those. All right. Dash attack after the relaunch. Ooh. Okay. Okay. I see what I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah, I love GX Sun. You're saying you love the high level tech and frame perfect stuff. Sometimes it makes you sad that fighting games are so tournament focused and will force the devs to remove things or broken stuff. Yeah. I really appreciate a game dev who can say, let me take the like wild world of fighting games and put some just like a couple of reasonable limits on them. I want you to play within this little criteria, but within there, go ham, right? Like, oh god, here, I've been working on some art stuff. So we got like, we got Heat Wave, right? Oh, it's gonna be all blurry. But yeah, we got games like Heat Wave, which are like, let me just do whatever the hell I want within that. We got games like Arcus Chroma, right? We got that too, which we're going to be taking a look at, which I feel like is They're like, hey, we're gonna put these little strictures. Look, you can't necessarily keep just repeating the same normal button loops over and over again, but if you're creative within the system that we have, you can do a lot of ridiculous bullshit that makes players say, hot damn, right? And that's really the reaction you want, if you ask me. But yeah, Andrew, that's it. It's like, it's tough when the entire game becomes about that, right? Like, I think that's kind of a fair criticism of a game like X-Men vs. Street Fighter, which I love. I love X-Men vs. Street Fighter. But if you're gonna play that game with infinites, with all the crazy tech involved, then you're basically gonna have to learn that, otherwise you're not really competitive in the same way, right? So long as that doesn't become tied to it. And I think that's why, like to GX's point, that's why a lot of the tournament style games get those styles of nerfs, have those styles of potential limiters, because they don't want it to be revolving around that one thing. So they put so many limits for it to not be like that, that it removes some of the why can't I do the crazy thing anymore, right? Which is a little bit of a shame. Yo, Shin Baxter, yeah, man, the busted stuff is where half the fun is at, and so you don't want to remove it, right? And it can't be limitless. Like, there's a point to a designer. A designer is creating this like collection of systems and is like setting you loose in them, right? But I still want that system space, the design space, to be tailored by the developer in some fashion, right? But I don't want the entire system to be stopping me from doing the thing that I want to do. I want some like, here are your ceilings, right? Try not to bash your head against them too much. Not the ceiling is coming crushing down on you. Tommy saying this game feels like an extension of the idea of the game Footsies. That's another big comparison, actually, that people are bringing up. Very astute point. Neutral is the focus of the game, but additional components were added, such as combos, a health system, multiple characters, giving it more contextual depth. That is bingo, right? Like, that is definitely the feel that I get from this. And I really kind of appreciate that design philosophy. It is, I love me some long combos and stuff like that, but it's nice to see systems designed to cater to this style of exchange, right? Yeah, a lot of Skullgirls, you're right, is doing like ridiculously long infinite combos into reset. That is kind of the game, right? Yeah, your main thing is that you got to build up to the busted stuff, which totally fair, right? Like, at a core level, when someone just picks up the game, they should be able to get to playing with intent pretty quickly, right? Which I think this kind of setup allows for that. That is one of the most entertaining things for me as a fighting game player, is that moment of realization, right? When you're doing something and you're like, oh, launcher into whiff the first part of my Rekka, then the two second parts connect. Oh, that means I get an extra launcher. What can I do off of that? Oh, well, I can do this dash cancel off of certain moves. So if I dash into something, great. Oh, that sets me up in a similar... Seeing that cascading series of realizations where you're like, oh, my God, that's how all the systems intertwine. I can get the perfect strike, I can get the dash, I can get the juggle, and then piecing those together, that is what I want, man. Building up to that is actually perfect, right? I should be able to start your game and immediately be like, ah, damn, that's why it's cool. And then every time I see something cool, it adds to the pile of, oh shit, that's what it all means in total. I love that. And that is not easy to achieve. Okay. Was that full stamina? Yeah, Boxer has low stamina, that's true. He's only got the 4 pips. I know, yeah. Oh, how many perfect in a row? What was that? That was like 8, right? I mean, yeah, no, like, I'm sorry, like a 4 stamina combo in a game like this, that's pretty significant, right? All right, let us get some games in, man. Right? This is where we're at. We have got the ability to play online. We should do it.